This is... Excuse me, I'm speaking. Okay? I'm speaking. This is Season 4, Episode 5 of my modular journey, and today I'm going to have a whole lot of fun because I want to look at the Data Bender by Qubit. And I have to tell you, I've had this module for a long time. I've had it since February of 2023. I've used it in dozens of sonic experiments. And as you just heard, just making noise in the room, it is literally one of the most beautiful things I've ever heard come out of modular, just in the glitchy craziness itself. I mean, listen. I mean, this thing is just amazing. All right, so with my fanboying out of the way, let's talk about Qubit Data Bender. As I said, it came in around February 7th, I think it was, of 2023. It costs $369, which is not cheap, but considering how much it does, it's pretty amazing. So let's get into that. What is it, first of all? Let me say that with the utmost bias, that this module is pretty freaking amazing. From the manual, it states Data Bender is inspired by the ways in which audio equipment can fail. The sound of skipping CDs, software bugs, and defective tape machine playback are all accessible, as you just heard. This sums up Data Bender quite nicely, in my opinion. While at first seeming like just another granular processor, it's very, very far from a granular processor. Yes, it still takes incoming audio and slices it into little fragments and then reassembling them in a chaotic manner, but there seems to be a lot more intention, I think is the word I'm looking for, with what Data Bender does to the audio signal than a typical granular processor. The term circuit bending is what Qubit uses to describe what's happening, and that is basically manipulating existing electronic circuits to achieve unpredictable and exciting results. Exciting indeed. So let me quick cover the panel here and some basics as I understand them. Up at the top here, there's a time knob which sets the sample period for incoming audio to be processed. There's a repeats knob which divides the primary buffer into smaller chunks of audio, causing the sound of repeating bits of the same sound in the buffer. Mix is your typical wet-dry mix. Fully counterclockwise, it's a dry signal, or the raw audio input only. And fully clockwise, it's only the process signal without any of the original input as you would expect. Next to the time knob is a clock source button, toggling between internal and external clock sources. When set to external mode, the time knob becomes a divider or multiplier. Here's the clock input jack down here. There's a mode button over here. Now, this is a macro mode blue LED or a micro mode if it's a green LED. And this mode toggles how the effects bend and break works, specifically the green LED. The bend button and its attenuator simulate vari-speed pitch changes, reverse audio, clicks and pops, etc. The break, which in its default mode, emulates malfunctioning audio devices such as a glitch or stutter you might get on a scratched CD, playhead wobble, and audio dropouts. So regarding micro mode, if you are in micro mode, the bend and the break functionality changes. Bend will cause playback, simulating going up and down 3 octaves, and tracks volt per octave, I believe, through this little CV jack here. While break will switch between traverse and silence based on the gate input. Traverse, as it sounds, will let you sweep through the buffer manually. I'm guessing that's kind of like freeze on Monsoon and you turn the position knob. Anyway, moving back to macro mode. Corrupt over here is by far my favorite mode to play with so far. There are 5 modes: blue, green, gold, purple, and orange. And they have names, of course. So we have a decimate mode, which is bit crushing and downsampling. We have a dropout mode, which creates random audio dropouts. We have a destroy mode, which is my favorite. This is the saturation and clipping effects. And there is a caution in the manual that this gets really loud using signals that are not modular level. So always protect those precious ears. There's a DJ filter mode with low pass filter below 12 o'clock and high pass filter above. And then finally we have a vinyl sim, which applies dust and scratches and pops to the audio, simulating old records. And lastly, over here, we have a freeze mode. And freeze is similar to other effects. Freeze stops the input of new audio, trapping what's in the buffer to be manipulated further. Like Monsoon, this is pretty fun when randomly modulated. There's also a CV modulation point for automating the 3-knob sweep, and a gate CV for toggling bend, break, and corrupt, and freeze on and off. Speaking of CV, you can also modulate mix, repeats, and time knobs using the CV inputs at the bottom of the module. Up here at the top, that I passed up earlier, is a shift button. And as you would expect, the shift button offers access to secondary features of the module. I will not get into those features today because this isn't a deep dive, but check out the manual. There is a ton of shift functions. As for why I chose Data Bender, my goodness, I've had Data Bender a long time already and use it quite often in my patches. I just haven't had a chance to talk about it yet. I wanted to expand my in-the-rack effects options, so I turned to Qubit for some of their amazing modules like Data Bender, Nautilus, and Mojave, the last one being the most recent, at least at the time of writing this script, which is a year ago. Whew. I watched a ton of YouTube videos and demos on the Qubit stuff and simply wanted to give them a try. I have not been disappointed at all. These Qubit modules are amazing in both their simplicity and their sonic possibilities. How I plan to use it? Well, Data Bender is a brilliant audio processing module that I intend to use through either send and return chains from my mixer or use it with other effects like sending bent audio out to a reverb or delay. I would likely use it mostly to glitch out some audio deep in the background of my generative modular soundscapes. So for an audio demo, okay, this is going to get pretty noisy, so bear with me. First, I want to show you what the raw sound sounds like coming into Data Bender before it gets bent. And it's just simply a chainsaw being fed from the performer over here. And all it's doing is changing octaves of the note C. And I have it going into the 2 cinnamon filters, which are in, what do they call that? Characteristic mode or something. So already the sound sounds a little crunchy. So that's kind of what that sounds like. But now if I turn up the mix, even just a little, and by the way, this is Data Bender. This is chainsaw going to Data Bender, going straight to the mix. It's not going through any effects here in the rack. I wanted to keep it out of the FX Aid so you could hear exactly what the bending sounds like. All right, so I've added a 50-50 mix here, and I do have bend, break, and corrupt turned up a little bit. Let me turn break and corrupt down for a moment. So this is just bend. I'm going to turn repeats up a little bit so we get some more of them. I'm going to turn time down a little bit so it goes a little glitchier. My goodness, listen to that. Keep in mind, this is all I'm sending in, is just this sweeping, filtery sound, and then this is what Data Bender's doing to it. It's just amazing. All right, so I'm going to turn up break now a little bit. I'm going to turn down bend. So that's a question I have that I haven't found an answer to in the manual. If these 3 effects are turned all the way down, why would I still hear noise? Why would I still hear bending, bent audio? So I'm not sure about that, but either way, it's still pretty cool. So remember, bend is vari-speed pitch changes and reverse audio clicks and pops. I'm not sure I'm hearing reverse, but maybe it's in there. All right, so let's move on to my favorite bending. It's corrupt over here. Just listen to it immediately. So this is decimate. Which is bit crushing and downsampling. I'm going to switch it to dropout now. So this creates random audio dropouts. Yeah. I can hear it. All right, we're moving on to destroy, which is, this is saturation and clipping effects. And this is the one that they said can get loud. I'll try to protect your ears. No promises. And then the purple mode is called the DJ filter. So if I turn this left, I should be getting a low pass filter. My triggers aren't triggering very quickly. All right, so if I go above 12 o'clock, it's a high pass filter. All right, I can hear that. It's pretty quiet because it's glitching. You can see me turning the knob, right? And then finally we have the vinyl sim, which applies dust, scratches, pops to the audio, simulating old records. Yep. Pretty awesome. So let's glitch the hell out of this now. I'm going to head back over to destroy. Because I really like that. Holy smokes. I literally can listen to this glitching module all day. All day I could listen to this. In fact, I have. I was just preparing for this. I was over there doing dishes. I was cooking lunch. I was relaxing, having a poop. I was just enjoying the hell out of Data Bender. And then I decided I was going to throw some more sounds behind it. Who doesn't love a big bottom end? Now remember, at least for now, Data Bender's dry. It's not going through any effects. This is just bent data. I don't know about you guys, but that sounds fantastic. All right, so now what if I take this bending data and I actually put it through the effects with everybody else? Let's see what that sounds like. That might sound interesting. right, so as cool as that sounds, I think I'm going to go listen to this for another couple of hours. I think I'm done recording for today. So that's it for the Qubit Data Bender module, which I absolutely love and use pretty much all the time now. Sorry, Monsoon. Coming up next is going to be a behemoth of a mixer, the WMD Performance Mixer Limited Edition, which I don't even know what that means because it actually came with more stuff. So stay tuned for that. I'll just play you out with some of this noise here.